No. It probably turned horizontal.
On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. You can find me there. It's good to be with you guys on a Redemption Thursday. We'll get to the picks momentarily. Here we go. Don't forget to like the Warchant TV feed there that on YouTube. It lets others find us, and also it helps us out. The metrics end up helping us out, so we need to get as many likes as we can. That's why you always hear folks saying it, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, because it gives greater feedback and more possibilities for things in the future for us to do for you guys to give good content out there. Hey, by the way, I don't know. I'm right there, kind of just in the middle. Tom, I haven't gotten to a place yet where I feel like I can pick Florida State to win the game, but I'm not so downtrodden. You know, that North Carolina game, which I was really wrong about. And of course, Vegas's number in that game was a big number. And we went up there and shocked a lot of people and played great in that game. And of course, it got started. It was 10-0 before you knew it. And I thought, unfortunately, that feeling I had in my gut was being confirmed. And then all of a sudden we went, no, not today. Not today. It ain't happening. And we turned around and beat that ass. I would advise not getting down 10-0 here against this defense. You're not going to just kind of run your offense from that point forward and have much success if that's the case. So,
yeah, agreed. But for them to get to 24 from 10 is going to be very tough as long as we don't fall down. You know, just have a safety just fall down for no reason.
Yeah, that is true. I'm cautiously optimistic. As I said here on Redemption Thursday. I would like to know just how healthy we are up front on the offensive line. Now, the big three seem to be fine. I think we're good there. It's just a little bit of concern, obviously, with perhaps no Dylan Gibbons. I don't know that for certain. We won't know that until Saturday, just before kickoff. Ira and Corey will be at that game, looking down onto the field. I would be following their Twitter feed very closely. They'll let you know. Now, Tom, do we want to give everybody the big surprise news? Actually, you could follow their Twitter feed, or you could watch.
Oh, yeah.
Myself and you, as we decided to do a little pregame chat for everybody. Yes, sir. This Saturday, 2:30 on Warchant TV, myself and Tom Wang, as I just mentioned, will be on the air. Just a little pregame chat, a little calming of the nerves, perhaps. We're just going to hang in there. And then also, you know what? We'll have our guys live from the stadium check in with us. Let us know the latest, what they've seen on the ground, who's there for Florida State, who's dressed, who's warming up, who's ready to go. Yeah, we'll do that.
So when you saw that graphic on Warchant TV, the viewers got to see that. The radio listeners have just been informed that you can find us on Warchant TV, 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Did it make the game feel a little bit more real to you? You see a photo of Clemson Stadium. It feels like, you know, that moment before the kickoff, there's almost like a puff of air. Sometimes it's humid and sticky, most of the time here in Tallahassee. Sometimes it's got that football wind to it, and you go, oh, man.
Oh, yeah. And you start feeling good.
And that puff of wind has an energy to it. Everybody's anticipating. They're waiting. They've been waiting a long time, and it's over. The moment's over. Anytime I see a photo of a football stadium, even if it's empty and there's not a ball lined up and the kickoff crew is out there, I can feel that moment. It's almost like I'm transported to that moment. So for me, when I see that graphic, I get super pumped up like we're about to start this thing. And I wish we were. I wish it was Saturday already.
I do too. I'm tired of talking about the game, and that's not a good thing for a talk show host whose content is centered around Florida State football. I just want to get it on. I want to see what happens here. I want to know, exactly how far we've come and how far they've fallen. This game's going to tell us a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so I get excited. Let's answer. In theory, I was right. By the way, that's he's promoting a podcast, but I like that. In theory, I was right.
It's a good flex.
It's a great name. And he contributes to the cause here, and I appreciate that. He wants to know, what does Balsmic, all one word, mean? I've been saying it in casual conversation now, and I have no idea why. Well, I've told this story for many years, and it's kind of the stuff of, dare I say, Tom, Jeff Cameron Show lore. I'm not even entirely certain anymore. I'd have to call my original producer, Dina Davis, and ask her. She probably remembers more. I came up with it. It's centered around this particular. I was doing mornings, okay, when I first started, And instead, it's not balsamic, although you say it fast and it sounds that way.
Right. Some people thought you were saying balsamic too.
Yeah. They did. No, it's balls, like a football.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or a baseball or a basketball. Balls, plural. Okay. Yeah. Tennis balls, for example.
Yeah.
Mick, as in just throwing on Mick before you say, hey, it's Mick Tuesday, or like whatever you wanted to say, right? I just threw it in.
Yeah, you made it Irish.
I made it Irish. And it was because there were, if I remember this correctly, and I'm kind of a weird dude, and I like absurdist humor, and I was, and back in those days, Tom knows, he didn't know me then, but he's heard the audio from those days. He's like, whoo, okay.
I don't know that there was sleep before the show.
Wasn't a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
Wasn't a lot of sleep. A lot of stuff going on in my life at that time. I was a single man in his 20s, embarking on a dream.
Shooting from the hip.
Yeah. And so bottom line is I came in that morning and there were, I think the Tallahassee Tiger Sharks were playing. In addition, there was I don't know if there was a basketball or I can't remember, but there were a bunch of games being played locally. And we were having to make decisions about like, well, am I going to go watch this game or this game? And then I also want to see this game. I'm not real sure. And
the internet didn't exist.
And I said something along the lines of, and I made her laugh because this, tongue in cheek, I said, basically, there's going to be balls everywhere. And I was talking about, of course, footballs, basketballs, baseballs. And I know hockey's a puck. But anyhow, the point is, so I said, it's a Balls McWednesday. And I just threw it out there.
And that's better you said it that way instead of bringing the puck in there because it wouldn't have aged well. The Tiger Sharks left.
Yeah.
Because if it was, puck and balls Wednesday, that's not good.
So I did. I said, it's a Balls McWednesday. And she laughed and I laughed. And I got into this habit, the show naming, Lawn Maintenance Tuesday, Balls McWednesday, Redemption Thursday, Libations Friday. We really have never done anything much for Monday. We had some sponsors where we were Man Cave Monday for a while.
That's right.
But we really haven't done a lot on Mondays. But every other day of the week has been named. There were two things that I relied upon when I first started in broadcasting just to kind of center me. When you do morning drive, and this was the way of the world in radio, when you do morning drive, they want you to constantly update your listeners as to what time it is because people are getting in the car driving to work, the theory being they want to know what time it is. Now, I always thought this was stupid. Every car has a damn clock. People know what time it is when they get in the car. They know, they can look. It's right there. When was the last time you saw a car that didn't have a clock in it?
Or one that you had to set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's automatic. It's on the satellites.
Everybody's got it. Well, and now, everybody's got it in their hand. They have a phone. They can look and see what time it is. But back then, the late, great Lee Bowen implored me to give time updates all the time. I got pissed. I got tired of it. It was like the first 6 months I was on the air. You're not saying the time enough. You got to tell people what time it is. No, I don't, Lee. That's stupid. And so early on, I was argumentative. And we were, imagine that. So we were going back and forth. He goes, well, just make it a part of your show somehow so that people know the time. So instead of me having to say the time all the time, which I thought was dumb, I required my callers to give me the time every time they called in. I took it and ran with it and went over the top with it. And I told them, when you call, back then we took a ton of calls, and I'd be like, Jerry, you're on the air, whatever. And he'd be like, it's 6:22 a.m., Jeff. And I'd say, damn right. Or I'd say, damn Skippy, old school, let's go. And then we would, what's your question? And then we'd go from there, right? So we just constantly did the time. So the time thing became sort of a part of the show where callers called in and told me the time. And then also naming the days kind of centered me enough to know, like, okay, how should I structure the show today? It's Lawn Maintenance Tuesday. That came out of the fact that people used to come and do the lawn maintenance at the apartment complex I lived in at ass o'clock every Tuesday. And I would be laying there going, what? This is ridiculous. Why is that? What? And then that's just before even I ever started doing mornings. After that, I was already out the door. But so Lawn Maintenance Tuesday, Balls McWednesday, I just told you about. Redemption Thursday was always about, because I've been gambling always. So it was like, well, you got to redeem yourself. Let's pick some games and have some fun with it. And then Libations Friday stands for what it stands for. So that's obvious. And that's how it happened.
Can I ask you is this a faux pas or not? This is living in a neighborhood with neighbors who, have tasks that they perform, and is this out of bounds or not? Related to noise. On Sundays, inevitably, my neighbor who is retired and has to choose any day, can choose any day of the week to do lawn stuff.
On what day?
Sunday.
Okay.
From about 11 a.m. till 3 or 4 p.m. has a leaf blower going and or a mower going. About 3 or 4 straight hours. You want to enjoy football on the back deck. It is flooded with noise from the neighbor.
10 a.m.?
11 to 3.
That's fair game.
Is it really?
Yeah.
4 hours every Sunday?
I mean, I don't know that I would want 4 hours necessarily, but it's fair. I mean, Sundays are good days to do your lawn maintenance. He's not starting. My key is, are you starting too early?
They're retired.
General rule of thumb is you can't do any of the stuff that, let's say like mowing a lawn before 9. Mm-hmm. If the Joker's out there at like 8:30, it's pushing the envelope a little bit. Now, it wouldn't bother me, but I understand where somebody might go, hey, man, it's 8:30 on a Sunday. Let's chill the hell out.
I'm just saying, if you're there every day, what's the difference that it's Sunday or not?
No, I agree. But
if you can knock it out on a Wednesday, that's when most people are working. That's just,
Well, maybe he's got things he does. Maybe he goes to the library on Wednesdays.
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
You don't know. We got basketball, exhibition basketball tonight.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome.
That's spoken like a man who will not be at tonight's exhibition basketball game.
It's a sad guy who's spread too thin on a Clemson week to make it out there. I'm very sad about this. You know how much I love that program.
I do too. If it weren't such a lopsided affair, with a great Thursday night football game on tonight, woo! We finally got one. We finally got a great one.
Sort of.
Yeah, I know Devontae Adams is not playing. There's injuries for Green Bay.
Lazard's not playing.
Yeah, but I will say this, man. You're not out of it when you got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's going to make everybody look good. He already does that. There are plenty of average-ass players that have played alongside him that go elsewhere, don't do anything, and then beg to come back or he wants them back, and then all of a sudden they're good again. So the common denominator here is Aaron Rodgers is really good.
So Randall Cobb, 12 targets, 8 catches, $152, and 2 scores.
Well, I mean, Aaron's going to put it on you now.
Robert Tonyan, 6 catches, 74 yards, touchdown.
Yeah. So I don't know. I refuse to believe that that's going to be a beatdown. Would you give the 6.5? Would you take Arizona and give the 6.5?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Anything sub 7, I think I'd give.
Yeah, in this situation,
I'm not giving 7.5.
I think if it doesn't work early for Aaron, he's going to pack it in. You see him do that in the regular season all the time. He's like, I don't have Devontae today, whatever. And then at the end, after the game's over, we needed this. It's fine. No big deal.
Well, he does handle adversity well. He does. I mean, not in game.
Right.
But after game.
Right. But he will quit when he faces adversity in the regular season. We've seen that multiple times now. Opening week against Jacksonville, didn't care to be there. Last year against Tampa.
Against the Saints.
Sorry, in Jacksonville against the Saints. Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't care to be there. Last year against the Bucs down in Tampa.
Well, they
started well, pelvic thrust,
yeah.
And then a couple of pass rushes later, he's like, you know what, this is stupid. I don't want to be here today. I feel like that might be coming tonight, which is why I think the 6.5 is an okay play on the Arizona side. I'm
not touching the game. I just hope it lives up to what we thought it could be. Did you know the combined record of these two teams at this, it's not late date, but what are they, 11-1, these two teams combined?
Yeah, that's right.
12-1, whatever it is, right? The combined record for two teams facing one another, this is crazy, this stat, I heard this on Thursday, is the best at this stage of the season between two first-place teams since 1934?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, I guess once you get to week 7 or week 8, it's just hard to find teams that are in this type of position.
Yeah.
I remember the Bucs playing New England back in. We were at the same game together. I think.
Yes, we were back in the day.
This is 97.
Didn't know each other at all. Yeah,
I think it's 97. I think they both were 4-0, 3-0 or 4-0.
Yeah,
but there really aren't that many circumstances.
The stat it brought somebody brought up that at that one time Chicago was 10-1 and Green Bay was 11-1 or something like that in 1934, and they met. And they weren't playing Thursday night games back then, I don't think. But anyhow, that was the matchup. Yeah,
probably Thursday afternoon games. Who knows? In that era.
Yeah, but I would just say that Thursdays are typically but sorry from an NFL standpoint. You don't get good games on Thursdays. You get sorry games. Like next week, I think it's the Colts and the Jets. Get the hell out of here with that. Yeah, that's not good.
Even when they schedule that, they're like, sorry.
I just
Joe and Troy, you might want to take this week off. Give it to Kenny Albert.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Everybody's asking us about Gibbons on the chat. Guys, they're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell anybody. They are not going to let Clemson certainly know whether or not he's playing. So you're not going to hear anything about Dylan Gibbons, yay or nay, until game time on Saturday when you tune in to Tom Lang and Jeff Cameron talking to you on Warchant TV.
Top billing.
Yeah. So I didn't want to refer to myself out the gate in the third.
I see. So I was the buffer for the true billing. Yeah. That's the way it goes. It's good. I've been marinating on this all week because when I first heard Mike Norvell's comment about Dylan Gibbons on Monday, the tone was all wrong for us, baby. But that they didn't rule him out, I suppose. He could have just said, it's not looking good. We'll have confirmation. And so he could have said a lot of things in the grand scope of impossible to he'll be suiting up. It was in the middle somewhere, enough to keep us interested, certainly for that update on Saturday afternoon.
You guys ready for the picks? Everybody ready for the picks? Got them right here. Money makers are right here. I've been a little average lately. On the Redemption Thursday wagers. Metro Deli. What's up, Metro Deli? Go to MetroDeliTally.com and look at that delicious menu. Go look at all of the wonderful food items. For me, it's the turkey grinder. I ain't fooling around with anything else. I love it. I either get it on a spinach wrap or a sun-dried tomato wrap. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
They got all kinds of wraps. They got all kinds of good artisan breads, the regular sub rolls that you want, whatever. And don't sleep on them for breakfast. I can't stress that enough.
All their food is good.
It is.
The operation is owned by and run by guys that are fantastic human beings. So I just would encourage you to go over there. You want to support good people who are local, who also support the Jeff Cameron Show. You get all of that at the Metro Deli. All right, here we go. Ohio State minus 18.5 against Penn State. This is a game I previewed on the College Sportsbook. You can find that on YouTube. The reason I spoke to both the Ohio State guy, Spencer Holbrook. I also had a chance to talk to Nate Bauer, who covers Penn State. Those two gentlemen do good jobs. And I have to tell you, Tom, this sounds like a funeral game here for Penn State's program right now. When you talk to people covering Penn State, the thought is that James Franklin's got both feet out the door, not one, but both.
Really?
He is gone.
All right.
And they're injured. Sean Clifford hurt himself. He doesn't look right. He looked terrible last week when they lost to Illinois. Ohio State has amassed over 500 yards of offense in 6 straight games. They are firing on all cylinders. They get their depth back at running back. Not that they need any more than what they have with Henderson, who's a beast, but they get Master Teague back this weekend.
What a name.
It's a great name. His name suggests he should be better, but he's not better than Travion Henderson. So that's what happens. But they get him back, and they got a lineman back. Ohio State is humming right now. Nobody's going to beat them in the Big Ten the rest of the year. And you know what's weird? There's a chance that they're going to rematch with Minnesota before this is all over.
Basketball.
There you go. Because I think Iowa's got a couple of losses left in them. Everything else just looks ugly. That is going to be an ugly Big Ten championship game. Iowa could lose this weekend to Wisconsin because they can't move the ball. Their quarterback is ass. That said, I like Ohio State to put it on Penn State here. It's a downtrodden bunch of the Nittany Lions. I'll give the 18.5. Ohio State rolls big.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Southern Miss, Middle Tennessee State. This is a matchup that I think weather will play a part in, and I'm using Tom's guy here. I went and looked it up. Lots of rain, winds up to 20 miles per hour. Southern Miss, Middle Tennessee State. I can
feel it all the way down in my plums. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
We're going under 48 on the total. We're going under 48 on that one, all right? By the way, Southern Miss, point totals against FBS foes, 7, 9, 14, 19, 13. That's not what you do.
Wow, they're much like Clemson. They don't break that 20 barrier very often.
They don't score. Well, they haven't broken it at all.
Yeah, maybe if they had overtime like Clemson did against NC State, they might have cleared it.
Yeah, so there you go. There's my logic behind the under 48 in the big Southern Miss Middle Tennessee State matchup. Maryland -5 against Indiana. You might say, what are we doing here, Jeff? What are we doing here? Well, let me tell you what we're doing here. I know it might occur to you that Maryland has lost 3 games in a row, Tom, by a combined 104 points.
First thing that occurred to me.
You thought, really? Maryland's that bad? Oh, they are. Maryland's terrible. Indiana, who was preseason ranked, frauds, are awful. And, oh, by the way, they're on their fourth-string quarterback. No, baby. This is not what we do.
Larry Bird the third?
This is not good. I don't think you can have much hope. No Penix, no Tuttle. They got nothing. I think they're starting a redshirt freshman last I saw. Give me Maryland. Lay the 5. Maryland gets right this weekend, everybody. There you go. Maryland -5 against Indiana. Oklahoma, slept walk against Kansas. Ruined my streak. Kansas no longer the ATM that was automatic forever.
They're good for one of those a year, and it makes no sense.
Out of nowhere. Remember that year they beat Texas, and we were like, oh, Charlie, you're done.
Right. They also gave TCU a scare at home.
Was
that 14?
Oh, yeah.
2014,
2 years in a row,
2015?
I think it was. Yeah. Well, anyhow, you just chalk that up to an outlier. Texas Tech fired their coach this week. That's a hell of a thing. Right there in the middle of the season, we're just going to fire your ass. We're about done with this. And they did.
Make like a tumbleweed and blow away out of here, partner.
Matt Wells got fired. So I went and looked, Tom, because I want to educate myself before I make a wager like this. And I read the site there at Texas Tech. It appears the players are devastated. They loved Matt Wells. So this is not a hallelujah, we're free. The evil monster has been slayed. It's we miss our coach. I don't think that's inspiring. I'll take Oklahoma, and I'll give the 19 points. I think Texas Tech is going to sleepwalk because they're mad at the administration. Boom, that's some inside for you.
That's some good stuff.
Here you go. Purdue +7.5 against Nebraska. Screw you, Nebraska. I'm done with you forevermore. Give me Purdue +7.5. I don't know why Nebraska would ever lay 7+ points against anybody. Air. Not with that quarterback. Give me Purdue in a tight one, +7.5.
Maybe we should have put air on the Jeff Takes column.
Notre Dame is giving 3 to North Carolina. Tom has been preaching what a fraud North Carolina is. Notre Dame's got something going right now that despite the fact that they've looked bad countless times, and I rightfully picked Cincinnati to beat them up there in South Bend, and they did, but they only have the one loss. They keep on fighting and keep on fighting. I don't think North Carolina has anything to fight for. And if you look at North Carolina on the road, if you look at UNC on the road, they aren't good. They're not good on the road. Give me Notre Dame and lay the 3.5. I would do that with anything under 7. And then Washington, Coach Lake ain't going to make it. My man ain't going to make it. That was wrong hire, wrong guy. Washington's terrible. They had to come from behind late last week to beat Arizona. That is not what we do, Tom. Give me Stanford -2 at home against Washington. It's a shame the Huskies are this bad. Bottom line is they are. They can't score. Give me Stanford -2 against Washington. And then finally, I like this game. It's a rivalry game, Tom. And anytime I can find a rivalry game, even if it's a rivalry that I do not care about at all, and this would classify as that, a rivalry game I do not care about. I don't believe you can be throwing around 20 points like this. Give me UNLV.
I can feel it all the way down to my plums.
Yeah. Give me UNLV. If you're watching on Warchant TV right now, you got to like it. Give me UNLV +20. That's not a good UNLV team. Nevada will win the game. But this is a rivalry game, Tom. You know what they're playing for this week?
A bankroll at the Golden Nugget.
The Fremont Cannon.
The Fremont Cannon.
They're playing for the Fremont Cannon, buddy. Woo! Here we go. You don't just roll out there and throw around 20 points for people when the Fremont Cannon is on the line. No, sir. Woo! UNLV will fight. They've got Nevada pride. The Fremont Cannon's on the line, Tom. UNLV loses. They cover the 20 points. I gave you a little extra this week, guys. I got down and dirty in the muck to get my point spread.
You reached down and found the Fremont Cannon.
The Fremont Cannon, baby. I'm doing it. I got other games too, but that includes an NFL game. I'm going to go over the Philadelphia-Detroit number at 48. Weather's not a problem here. We're going over. Both teams stink. Let them score on each other all day long. We're going over 48 in the NFL between Philadelphia and Detroit, and those are your Redemption Thursday wagers. Thanks to our friends at Metro Deli. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000. Why? Because money talks.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Your next chance to win is coming up during the Jeff Cameron Show at 2 p.m. Listen out for the keyword, then click on the Real Talk Money megaphone at realtalk93.com. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Hey Tallahassee, this is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. There's so much more to auto glass than most people know. With the technology these days, lane departure, keep assist, forward collision, that camera is attached to your windshield. When the windshield gets replaced, it needs to be reset, and that's called recalibration. And Seminole Auto Glass was the first to offer it here. We offer drop-off service or mobile service if available.
Don't forget about customer service.
Oh yeah, we have the best customer service in town, and a $50 gift card with your windshield through insurance. We're more than just a glass company. We are your local auto glass experts. Better call Seminole.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Tallahassee's biggest, baddest Halloween party is at the Brass Tap in Midtown this Saturday night. Enjoy the costume contest for a chance to win $500 in cash. Registration begins at 8 and the contest kicks off at 9 with a live DJ. Bring your friends to cheer you on. $4 zombie shots, $5 pumpkin beers, and tons of spooky specialty cocktails to choose from. Don't miss the fun at the 8th annual biggest, baddest Halloween party at the Brass Tap in Midtown.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. At Kraft Nissan, we've been amazed at the number of Toyota and Honda people trading up to Nissan's new family of SUVs. The changes are stunning. And don't just take my word for it. Motor Trend tagged Rogue as the 2021 SUV of the Year finalist, adding that Rogue can go toe-to-toe with Honda and Toyota. Well, guess what, Tallahassee? We can't keep the new Rogues on the showroom floor. Seriously, if you haven't seen one for yourself, come take a test drive and you'll see the new Rogue sells itself. In the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder, it's roomier, quicker, and better equipped. Plus, the second row seats easily slide and flip forward to allow access to the third row, even with a child seat installed. And finally, Car and Driver says savvy shoppers will be surprised by the new Armada's luxuriousness. So I encourage SUV lovers to come see the new Nissan family of SUVs. Everyone knows that Nissan SUVs have more standard equipment than the competition. The award-winning Rogue, Pathfinder, and Armada, only at Kraft Nissan, Mahan Drive, Tallahassee.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Me and Todd Van Dyke.
Interesting name for the record. If you can find the Revenants on Spotify, you'll see the name of the record.
It's a hard record to find anymore, like an actual physical copy. I had the actual CD. They made it themselves. It's hard to find. The lead singer, I bought him a shot, and he came over and hung out with us and was an awesome dude. And I remember thinking, man, you've got it. You've got it. I mean, it's hard to sing like that, to make it sound authentic. He has it. And I never did anything else. I could even tell then when I was talking to him, I'm like, my man he's not feeling this. He's like, they had been touring for 3 years and they're still playing a little bar in Tempe,
It's like our boy who looks like Louis C.K. who sung Toto Africa.
Oh my God.
In a pizza joint in Utah.
And he is getting it. And when you watch him and the dude wearing the Yankees jersey and he's playing bass, my favorite part is that his harmonizing is perfect out of nowhere. Neither of them look like they could sing like that at all.
No.
At all.
One looks, whoop. Jeez.
Hey, now.
I just hit the damn, all right, well, whatever. That's what you get for leaving a pot up.
Neither of them what?
One of them looks like Louis C.K.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
of course, he doesn't look like he could sing Toto Africa as good as perhaps that recorded performance.
It's insane. Okay, so the weekend that is, and it's hard to get to this place because you're so hyper-focused on Florida State Clemson, but think about what we have this weekend. Michigan State at noon. This is close to a park your ass Saturday.
Yeah, because things are spread out nicely.
Well, Michigan State at noon. That game's on Fox. I really want to see that game. First time, I've got all kinds of numbers for you today. First time that these two teams have been ranked in the AP top 10 when facing each other since 1964.
Wow, I would have never guessed that. 1964.
They had a big matchup in 99. Got a couple of different games that are rememberable, if you will. Memorable.
That's better than misremembered, Roger Clemens.
Yeah, I know. But for the most part, when these two teams meet, even though it's a rivalry, they haven't both been on the same page. They weren't both kicking ass at the same time. So you get this matchup for the state of Michigan. It's a big deal. A lot going on in recruiting. This is a war right now. If you go read about this game, a ton of recruits going to be at this game in East Lansing. I've been to that field at East Lansing. I had the honor of walking in there and walking around. It's a newer stadium, at least the inside. They did a really good job. They got their ring of honor up there. And it's a quaint little place to see a football game. I imagine it's going to be quite loud. And it's the kind of game, Tom, you and I would love to attend because the weather is going to be ideal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just something about those two teams' uniforms on the field at the same time that draws me in. I like it. I've always thought Michigan State's uniforms are a top 5.
Yeah.
They're incredible uniforms.
I suppose I'm honoring them in a way today wearing the forest green. But you got navy, forest green, and that garnet color, man. Those are 3 amazing, subdued, yet powerful colors.
Earth tones and regal. That's what that is.
Absolutely.
Earth tones and regal. So anyhow, great game there. Of course, you got Georgia, Florida, which I'm very intrigued by. And the reason is, first of all, that's a 14-point number, which I'm kind of surprised by. You could get it over 14. Look, Georgia's been the best defense in the country. It's not close. When you have a defensive tackle that is a Heisman candidate, you're doing some things. But Dan Mullen, the doofus, does dial it up, man. Game day is not an area typically where you're doubting game plan from him. Maybe on the other side, maybe defensively, you're like, you all ain't going to stop anybody out here today, are you? A lot of times that happens. But when you look at Dan, you're like, Dan will scheme something open.
Oh.
They will score.
Puncher's chance, always with that guy.
Yeah, it's the reason he doesn't get fired, because every other aspect of who he is really not agreeable. It's difficult to like Dan Mullen, period. He's not a great recruiter. He says dumb things on the regular. He looks ridiculous.
Yeah, he looks like a manager at the Village Inn, right? Made some mistakes.
Used car salesman or whatever. Yeah,
yep.
He's made some mistakes.
Now, there are some managers of the Village Inn who didn't make mistakes, but he just looks like the one where you're like, oh, man, that guy's here for no good reason. He's not here for any good reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Tough times, maybe just out of the joint.
Right.
Yeah, he's had a rough go of it.
Looks like accounting fraud. I don't put him on violent crime.
No. I think he might have been running drugs here and there back in the day. Could have been. So anyhow,
would you like to try some of the muffins? Delicious. Hey, awesome stuff here at the Village Inn.
You know what I like about that? First of all, the Village Inn is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's just damn delicious.
Legit.
It's legitimately awesome. Second, and one closed out by me, and I'm pissed. So I used to go in there and get the strawberry rhubarb pie. Secondly,
R.I.P.
Yes, it sucks. So I'm again, typically he's been able to find a way. Now, as Tom correctly points out here, he hasn't always found a way to dial it up against Kirby Smart. Now, we'll see. But he has in other big moments, including games against Alabama, as you just saw. So we'll see. there's no chance he doesn't start Anthony Richardson here, right? I mean, you're just trying to get fired if you start Emory Jones.
I don't know.
I mean, you're just trying to get fired. You're like, look at me, everybody, fire me. I mean, that is insane.
Well, if you're going to run Richardson out there, then you're going to run Richardson
every
which way.
I'm running him every
because
play.
If he's dropping back and throwing, which Mullen likes to do, he's throwing a lot of picks, right? Because he can't consistently throw the ball where it needs to go.
Yeah.
He'll have a highlight or two, but then you're like, God.
Yeah.
The substantive throws.
Yeah, no.
2nd and 8, he's dropping back. You're like, no.
No.
Or if you're a Nole, you're like, yes.
Yes.
You got the zoom in Jack Nicholson.
Yes. Keep doing that. So we'll see. But that game also, obviously, our game, the number one game on the list for us, without question. But it's just rightfully, it's just a good game. Like if I were living in Minnesota, I'd be like, hey, it's an interesting game. Kind of interested to see where Clemson's head's at. I think this is nationally, I think our game is where's Clemson's head at game.
Well, this is a continuation of what we saw on Monday night to open the season, which is we have somehow transformed from one of the most hated programs in the country from 2014 into a lovable underdog program, and that continues today, or on Saturday, I should say, this week. People are going to watch that game and say, come on, Florida State, put them down, put them out of their misery, especially those fans of power programs, the others that are in the oligarchy of college football or those that are on the precipice. Yeah, that's right, Noles. You remind Clemson who they were. Good job. You're still years away. Let's put Clemson in that place. We've got fewer rungs to climb to get atop the ladder.
Two things here to circle back and answer some questions. You guys are active today, so I'll be active too and answer these. Yes, Preston, the Village Inn by Capitol Circle closed. Tom wants to know if UF gets blown out and we win, we're both 4-4, how hot does Mullen's seat get? Well, here's the thing. Dan Mullen's 33-12 at Florida. He's 33-12. 2-6 in his last 8 games against Power 5 teams. So
it would be 2-7.
That'd be 2-7 in the last 9 games against Power 5 teams. But it would still be 33-13. It's not like he's been a disaster. They're building their football facilities are being added to, and they're catching up with the Joneses, if you will. They're catching up to Georgia. They're catching up to what is that buzzing sound?
That's your phone, I believe.
I get no calls coming in here.
Well, there was some sort of lightning strike power surge as well.
We got some weird stuff going on here. What is going on? So to answer this question thoroughly,
Dan Mullen is at getting a seance done or something.
33-13 is what he'd be. I don't think that they're looking to run him out of there. I know Florida's got a ton of money, but they could, if they wait a year, they can get it to where there's less than $12 million in salary remaining on his contract. It's actually, they got to wait 2 years. They'd like to do that if they're going to let him go, because it would cost $12 million to fire him. The first $6 million is due immediately, and the rest is paid in $1 million installments over the next 6 years. I'd like those kinds of installments, Tom. Wouldn't that be a great installment plan?
He could run a lot of Village Inns with that kind of money.
He could. So I think they're going to hold out. This is a tough year, but they do have a burgeoning quarterback in Anthony Richardson. They may just chalk this up to a lost year. You weren't going to, well, obviously it's not going to be a good look if Florida goes out and gets beat 38-7 or something. Now that may change the tenor. That may change the conversation a little bit.
Go for it. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So Florida fans, I said it yesterday, are kind of looking at old Dan with a jaundiced eye, because they brought back up old things that they've secretly wondered for some time, which is, if Felipe Franks hadn't gotten hurt and then transferred, would we have ever seen Kyle Trask? And that came up. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
You know when you have to make a hard choice, like between chocolate brownie fudge or lavender ice cream? Well, where it gets really tough is choosing an internet and wireless carrier. Like, do you choose fast gig speed internet or one that blocks malware? And then what about wireless? Do you choose unlimited with 5G or the most reliable network nationwide? Or is it wireless that's number one in customer satisfaction? Well, with Xfinity, you don't have to choose, because you can get all of that with Xfinity. It's internet and wireless so good, it keeps one-upping itself. Get Xfinity internet and mobile together for $35 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Visit an Xfinity store to learn how our Switch Squad makes switching fast and easy. Requires paperless billing and auto pay. Ends 11/15/21. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares optimized pricing to top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Your local news now.
Controversial whistleblower Rebecca Jones has officially filed to run for Congress. The Democrat will work to unseat Republican Representative Matt Gaetz in District 1. Gaetz is facing several legal scandals, including a federal investigation over whether he had a sexual relationship with an underage girl. The congressman denies any inappropriate relationships and even claims to be the victim of an extortion scheme. Jones, a former employee with the Florida Department of Health, was fired for insubordination in 2020 in her own scandal of the state's COVID case numbers. State records show she filed the candidacy paperwork on September 29th. The Tallahassee Police Department arrested a man in connection to a May shooting on Royal Oaks Drive. The shooting happened at a home in the 2900 block of Royal Oaks Drive just before 4:30 a.m. on May 30th. Deputies' initial investigation showed several suspects shot at a homeowner who confronted them during an attempted car burglary. 19-year-old Chance Costin was charged with the possibility of more arrests to follow. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update. Brought to you by McEnmore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McEnmoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs approaching 78. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered rain showers again tonight. Lows dip down to about 58, partly cloudy. Chance for scattered rain showers tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 68. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 75.
The best happy hour in Tallahassee just got happier. Wednesdays at Wahoo Seafood Grill, enjoy half-off appetizers from 3 to 7 p.m. Calamari, boom boom shrimp, gator tails, mudbug fries, and more. All half price from 3 to 7 p.m. every Wednesday. And if you're looking for a fresh lunch to break up the day, Wahoo serves up fresh fish tacos, sandwiches, and po' boys all week long for under $10. Visit Wahoo Seafood Grill today on North Monroe Street. Check out the full menu and order online at wahooseafoodgrill.com.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy. Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey!
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them, eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
No stuff like what's open, what's not. Good job, Manny. Thank you. So it was temporarily shut down or something. I don't know. They had a problem inside there, and then they had to clean things up or whatever. But
man,
it's looking good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be besmirching.
I'm not besmirching anything. I don't know why they were temporarily. I went over there one day all excited to get the strawberry rhubarb pie, and I pulled in, and the damn thing was closed down middle of the afternoon. I was like, "What are we doing?" We're doing at the Village Inn.
Yeah, middle of the afternoon. That's no good.
No, not good.
That's called happy hour.
So I was saddened. I was hoping that I was wrong about that. Turns out I am. It was just a temporary thing for whatever reason. Could have been that they were improving things, Tom. You're right. They could have been making it even better than it already is.
And I feel bad. I need to clean that up. Dan Mullen is the overnight manager. That's what he is. He's the overnight manager. You don't see him Sunday at 9 a.m. prime time for a place such as the Village Inn. You see him at 3 a.m. because you're on an overnight drive from one place to the next, passing through town. You're like, oh, look at that. In the Macon Village Inn at 3 a.m. There's old Dan Mullen running the show.
how many wide open opportunities is Jordan Travis going to have to hit somebody and put up points this weekend? Because we've talked about it a lot this week. I don't think you're not going to sustain drives against Clemson. And Florida State doesn't do typically a real good job of sustaining long drives anyhow right now. They are a team that will design an offense around the idea that we're setting you up. Now, most coordinators are setting you up out of a certain look, but this group does a very, very good job of running an offense that at some point, could be early in the second quarter, could be first series of the second half, is going to get something wide ass open. It is remarkable. I really think it bodes well for when we get good players in here. I mean, imagine what they're going to be able to do once we get good players in here. It's exciting.
Oh, score a lot of points.
Yeah,
often.
Yeah. Well, because then there's so many other elements of the offense that they're not even running. But the fact that they frequently find ways to scheme open, wide ass open guys, is a great sign. And I'm not going to discount the possibility that they do it again here. In fact, I think they will do it again here. It's just hold your breath when you see it. Hold your breath, because usually it's one of these things where they get Jordan outside the pocket, and then he starts to slow down, and you go, oh, here it is. And when that camera pans back over, you're like, oh, there he is. And then it's just please hit him. Please catch it. Please. And a couple times this year, he's put it perfectly right on him. North Carolina game stands out. That was a beautiful throw. Obviously, the Notre Dame game, he's had a few where he just in stride right there on the money. He's also had a few where you go, oh, no, man, you can't miss that by 10 yards.
There's a less heralded throw to Keyshawn Helton in the North Carolina game where it's the same concept. Pokey's running a post, and then Keyshawn's running the fly. And it's not a perfect throw, but it's one that guarantees a gain of 35 or 40 or whatever it is. Like, I'll take that when you're open in that situation, because flipping the field is going to matter a lot. And I guess my follow-up question is related to that, which is, if you're saying how many times are we going to scheme people wide ass open, like for a 20-yard chunk play or for a potential score? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, I think for a potential score.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably 3 to 5.
Well, they had 2 weeks. I mean, they had the bye week and then the obviously the UMass week. I mean, I'm sure he's got a little something.
Oh, they do.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't even seen they just do. They always do.
They always do.
And they feel, you could see the availabilities on Tuesday and Wednesday. I was glad yesterday that Mike continued the pattern of being okay with Wednesday, but lamenting that this is not the standard, that the effort level is, like, good. He was mad the last 2 Wednesdays that we had football games.
Mike, stay mad.
The last 2 Wednesdays that we had football games, he was mad. And what did we do? We went out there and dominated for either the whole game or a significant stretch of the game.
It's a weird game. If I look at Clemson and I look back at the Pitt game, which I did, I know you did too. My man, on 25 pass attempts, DJ amassed 128 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yes.
They had some drops.
That would have gone for probably 80 to 100 more yards.
They do it all the time, though, Tom. Those receivers, as talented as they are, for whatever reason, are dropping balls left and right this year. They have a lot of drops. Also, he misses guys. I don't know if he's pressing, if he's frustrated, if he's having a crisis of confidence. I think it's that. But there are 3 or 4 throws a game, and I went back and watched both the Syracuse and Pitt games. There are 3 or 4 throws a game that he airmails by 20 yards. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here? What is that?
It's the constant pressure that's affected his internal clock. There's no doubt about it. The numbers, according to Pro Football Focus, and this was in the third and lang piece that appeared last night into this morning, nearly 30% of his dropbacks. He's got over 220 dropbacks this year. Nearly 30% of the time they're under pressure, blitz or otherwise.
Right.
At some point, that's going to affect you.
Yeah, they lose. Well, also, tell me if you saw this, because this really stood out to me, especially, really both Pitt and the Syracuse games. He sees the rush, buddy. Oh, he sees it.
The eye level drops.
Oh,
indeed.
Completely
and sometimes he'll turn his back to the play.
It's crazy. He's not aggressive in any way. I just don't understand what has happened to that kid. If you're built like that, I mean, he's a Greek god. What are we doing?
And that's why the game plan should at least begin the same way the North Carolina one did.
Absolutely.
So what? He can do more on the ground than Sam Howell can, sure.
But he doesn't want to.
That's the question. He's got to prove that he wants to. If he does, then you change.
Yeah. And I believe that will be the game plan. I would demand it. I mean, I just got done talking about this yesterday. It was my frustration with your boy. EJ, who once a week I rip, but I would be like, what are we doing?
That's 3 times in 2 days.
I'm not ripping him right now. I'm just alluding to the fact that I often like to. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with me.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're plumbing.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service, right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit isf.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
You went online to switch your car insurance to Progressive so you could save money. But then you saw a friend request from an old summer camp buddy. And now here you are, clicking through photos of his kickball team from 2011. Oh, looks like they won the championship that year. Then he moved to Tulsa. Oh, a new tattoo. Yes, they said it was easy to save hundreds on car insurance with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National average savings by new customer surveyed who saved in 2019.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's time to win some cash. And here's this hour's keyword.
Smile. S-M-I-L-E. Smile.
Click on the Real Talk Money Megaphone at realtalk93.com to enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000 in this nationwide contest. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, money, I just can't get enough.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT. Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Biden and Democrats have agreed to terms on a new dramatically scaled-back tax and spend plan. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
After months of wrangling among Democrats, the president announced that they now have a framework for what he called an historic economic plan.
No one got everything they wanted, including me. But that's what compromise is.
That's consensus.
The original price tag was $3.5 trillion. It's now been chopped in half, and while it doesn't include some of the president's priorities, it does include massive spending on climate programs as well as healthcare and education policies. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell to a pandemic low last week. Jobless claims dropped by 10,000 to 281,000. That's lowest since mid-March 2020, according to the Labor Department. Meanwhile, a new poll gives President Biden his first underwater approval rating for his handling of the economy and shows increasing pessimism about the direction of the country.
The new Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research poll shows 58% disapprove and 41% approve of the president's handling of the economy. In March, 60% approved. Only about a third of Americans think the nation is headed in the right direction. In the early months of Biden's presidency, roughly half said the nation was on the right track. Mike Hemp in Washington.
Utility crews are working to restore power to hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in New England after a nor'easter battered the coast with hurricane-force wind gusts. Over 300,000 customers lacking service in Massachusetts. Restoration could take days in some areas. Stocks are higher. The Dow up 181 points. More at townhall.com.
Why are cash-out refinances such a big deal right now? Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them to cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. Every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. License in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Florida State finds a way to win the game. But there was a note somebody wrote. Imagine waking up on Sunday morning. Thank you, Jeff. You wrote that. And Clemson, UF, Florida State are sitting at 4-4, and the trajectory of the programs are all very different. Obviously, Florida State would be arrow pointing upwards if that happened, whereas Florida and Clemson, arrow pointing down. Throw in Miami for that matter, arrow pointing down. Swinging and missing on recruits left and right down there in Miami right now.
I think they've got 4 dudes that are going to show up.
Yeah. Where are the 4? We're here, coach. So yeah, it's crazy.
Heard there's playing time.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, a lot can happen between now and signing day, and we're holding on for dear life this class we have, right? Just come on, guys. Hang in there with us.
Push it across that finish line.
Yeah, that's right. Can you imagine, though, what a win would do for that? I mean, I know we tend to overrate what individual games do for recruiting classes, but I don't think we could underrate how important it is to go on a
All right, folks. I think you can see me. Can you see me? Just hit the comment section if you can. You can hear the beeping in the background. You can hear all kinds of stuff. We've lost preliminary power here. So, yeah, exactly. Maverick helmets. We were having power surges about 20, 30 minutes ago where the lights were flickering, but nothing happened. And now, as you can see, looking at Jeff's studio, it's a little bit darker and dingier. Yeah, you can see us. Okay, good. I don't know that we could conduct a show from my phone here, but there's the compatriot. He's checking on the news. What's going on? Yeah, we out. We're working on it. We may have to end the stream right now as we're figuring out what's going on, but sorry, folks. little power outage. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, if we can today. If not, we'll find a way to talk to you soon.